The way this teacher is dressing is upsetting a lot of people on the internet, and they're starting to wonder, should she even be allowed to teach?
Look at Miss Williams. Hey, Miss Williams. It's Monday. Oh.
Now that right there is Miss Williams, also known as Teacher Bay here on TikTok, and this is the outfit she was wearing to teach one day.
She just has a body. What do you want to do? Leave her body at home? I've noticed recently that dress code in schools for teachers and students has been a lot more lax recently, and I personally think that's a good thing. One, because I'm a teacher. We've never had a dress code where I work at, but we're still expected to maintain a certain level of appropriateness. That kind of just goes without saying. Having a relaxed dress code is amazing because, in my opinion, because it gives people freedom to express themselves through fashion. That's always been a really big thing.
They damn near look our age. Okay? So let's not act like these teachers don't be going to these high schools and middle school knowing they're going to get attention from the boys. Yeah, the girl like, oh yeah, my teacher, but she got boys in them class. She got boys and they can't control themselves. She looking like an IG baddie. Who is the principal? The principal got to be a man. He got to be a man. He like looking at it too, just like the boys. And had it been a woman principal and she shut it down, they would say that the woman is hating. They hating, but I know that's a man principal because he like, come on in, Miss Williams. You're looking good today. What you gonna wear tomorrow?
First of all, she calls herself Teacher Bay. I don't care that her real name's Peachy. And second of all, we're not saying that she's dating her students. We're saying that she's dressing as if she wants to date her students. Because no normal teacher is wearing skin-tight clothes, short skirts, and high heels to school to be a teacher, to be an educator to students. Like, that is weird and honestly kind of predatory because you're purposely like wearing these skimpy clothes to show off your features when you're around students. Like, that's weird. And I also think it's really strange for a teacher to brand herself as Teacher Bay. Like, you know exactly what you're implying by that. And like, it doesn't matter that that's her own social media and like, you know, she's not pandering to her students for that. That is still her image. People, her kids can look her up and see, oh my god, wait, my teacher goes by Teacher Bay? Like, she just does not understand that there is a time and place to dress and act how she wants. And school is not one of those, especially when you're the educator. Like, you should be doing this on the weekends when you're out with your friends in your own house. When you're going out, you can dress however you want. It doesn't matter. But when you're in school and you're teaching, you're trying to be professional. Actually, you need to be professional. You shouldn't be wearing the skin-tight clothing to show off your features to your students.
Miss Williams, better known as Miss Bay, has gone viral on TikTok because of the way she dresses and the way she shows up to begin her day at school with all her students. The criticism she has received is because her clothes are always very close to her body and it shows her beautiful figure. She also wears very beautiful, seductive looking shoes. But two things can be true at the same time. She has a beautiful body. She doesn't want to cover it. Students are going to be looking at her all day, every day. For what I can tell, this is probably her first year teaching. A lot of schools have a dress code. I have worked in schools where they don't allow open toe at all. Obviously, the school that she works at is very lenient with the dress code. There are some schools that don't even allow leggings to be worn. I think it's safe to say that she has very little experience teaching and she has no idea of what students are like. Male students do develop crushes on teachers. It's nothing new. Teachers must protect themselves by the way they dress. They have to be mindful that you don't have something open or too low cut or something that shapes your body in a way that there's nothing left to the imagination. A lot of people have come on here and criticized this teacher for having those kind of outfits in the classroom, but I don't think she's going to listen to any of us. I think she's going to shop for a brand new wardrobe as soon as she gets uncomfortable by her own students, because that day is coming. She's going to get a lot of attention by the male students, and she's going to get a lot of jealousy by the female students. Either way, it's a no-win situation. It's best to dress professional when it comes to an education job. When you're a teacher, you're not just teaching students, you're also their role model. Don't forget, they're going to spend 10 months out of the year with you, and the vast majority of the day. And I can't imagine students looking at her back while she's writing something on the board, and that's what they see.
Right, guys, and welcome back to the channel. This is Hosting Stories KE, and personally, I hope you are doing super fine and great whenever you are watching this video from. Now, for the last couple of weeks, we've seen a black teacher going viral. She's going viral because of her dressing code in school, and this has sparkled a lot of reactions from the netizens. People are calling this a very inappropriate dressing code, especially for a female teacher who is black and teaching in a boys' school, a teen boys' school. Yeah, the teacher goes by the name Teacher Bay, and I hope and I'm pretty sure that you've come across certain videos of Teacher Bay, or her official names are Miss Williams. So Miss Williams is accused of her dressing code. People are saying that it is very dangerous for such kind of teacher, especially with her body, to wear such kind of clothes and teaching in a school with boys in it, and those boys are teens. What does she expect? What is she targeting at the end of the day? What is she teaching those boys? As a teacher, she should be teaching by example. But in this instance, Teacher Bay is teaching these kids to have a crush on her. But unfortunately, these are some of their reactions. People are calling her out. People are criticizing her because the trend is that when this teacher wants to go and teach, she usually records herself at the door before entering the class. After the session, she also comes again and takes these pictures, takes these videos and posts it on TikTok. So one of them went viral, and it led the crowd and the people from the media attention to her space. So the people went there and find out that this is a thing that she'd been doing, and they're saying this dressing code is so inappropriate, especially for a female teacher teaching in a boys' school. And their reactions are so massive, with negative comments, others criticizing her, others supporting her, others saying that she is a teacher, a female teacher, and she's still growing up. She should just wear the way she wants. Others saying that as a teacher, they should have limits for their profession. Just check out this comment section, guys, and then we'll be having a discussion at the end of this video, and also my commentaries. In the meantime, remember to subscribe while we keep on watching together, and also remember to watch this video to the end, because at the end I really need to know what are your thoughts on this topic. What are your thoughts on the dressing code of these female teachers in school? Let's watch together, guys, and then I'll be giving my commentaries.
Everybody keep talking about Teacher Bay, and I'm so tired of it. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to add my 2 cents in it. The fact that she is wearing those tight-ass clothes around little-ass children, and that's the type of stuff that you do around a man that you actually like, is concerning. Understand that there are women that are predators too. And one thing about it, 2 things for sure, a lot of these female teachers be fantasizing about those children. You heard correctly. The stories that I could tell y'all about teachers ucking in the classroom. Like, how do you decide to wear revealing clothes around children when you know revealing clothes was meant to wear around your significant other? And every time I see on my timeline, it's nothing good about these teachers. It's literally either a teacher is picking on them, allowing another student to pick on them, or the teacher is being a weird Bert. And I just don't understand what she gets out of wearing those clothes. Like, you can look cute and nice and not be revealing. So you want to be revealing, like you're choosing to be. You want to show off all your goods, but why to students? She needs to be investigated, because something could be going on behind closed doors, and y'all need to catch it before it's too late.
She just has a body. What do you want to do? Leave her body at home? I've noticed recently that dress code in schools for teachers and students has been a lot more lax recently, and I personally think that's a good thing. One, because I'm a teacher. We've never had a dress code where I work at, but we're still expected to maintain a certain level of appropriateness. That kind of just goes without saying. Having a relaxed dress code is amazing because, in my opinion, because it gives people freedom to express themselves through fashion. That's always been a really big thing, especially for students as they're growing up. But teachers, you're a teacher. You should be setting an example of how to conduct yourself in public. There's a time and a place for these outfits, and wearing a short bodycon dress to school with a little jean jacket over it doesn't make it appropriate. You're still wearing a bodycon dress that you probably wore to the club last weekend. I'm not even comfortable wearing a loose, long, flowy dress to work. And I'm a preschool teacher. Like, if you're a teacher and you wake up in the morning and you think, I'm gonna put on my tightest dress because it makes my backside look really, really good, knowing you're about to go and stand in front of a bunch of teenage boys all day, yeah, that's weird. Doesn't matter how you try and flip the script. It's weird. It's not appropriate. No.
Teacher Bay an actual teacher? Or is this just a way to drive followers to her OF? Because I find it really hard to believe that if she's not tenured, she wouldn't get dress coded or fired immediately. And if she is tenured, she wouldn't be put on an improvement plan. Take the clothing aside, because I'm the first one to say that teachers should be allowed to wear what they want, especially when they aren't teaching. But there is a social standard of what is appropriate for the location that you're at and the people that you're around. Even before I worked from home, I wore joggers every day as a teacher. Joggers and hoodies. So much so that on Halloween, an entire class of mine decided that they were going to be funny and be me for Halloween, so they all wore black, red, or gray baggy sweatpants and a school hoodie, and their hair up in a messy bun. No makeup. No, that's not professional. But my kids were learning, and it wasn't inappropriate. It has nothing to do with how your body is shaped. Now, perhaps her admin hasn't gotten on her case about how she's dressing because maybe her admin is all male, and they feel like if they did say something, she would retaliate and say that it's because of how her body's shaped and she can't help it. You can help how your body's shaped if you have enough money. For the most part, though, you can't. But you can dress appropriately for that body shape and for the environment that you are in, as previously stated. A teacher does not need to carry a purse. That thing should be locked in a closet, because little kids got sticky fingers. I'm not even talking about stealing. I'm talking about sometimes they're just nosy. Accidentally left my purse out once because I was in a rush. I threw it down on the chair. I come back and one of my kids is like, "Can I use a lip gloss?" They know I don't have any money in there. I'm a teacher. But like, no, you can't use my lip gloss, and no, you can't have that snack. That's my lunch. Get out of my bag. There's a serious lack of boundaries, which is why teachers always lock their stuff up, not flaunt it around, in need of attention from children. Now take the clothes out of it, like I said. The name Teacher Bay is highly inappropriate. Did she come up with that herself, or did somebody give that to her and she was just like, yes? I don't get it. It's weird. And lastly, teachers don't get paid in cash. So there's no reason why a teacher should be depositing large sums of cash into the bank from their work last night, unless they are in the service industry, which even then, the sums will not be that large.
Yeah, I'm actually happy the women on TikTok are actually talking about this issue. 'Cause I feel like if a guy was speaking about this, we would get hella flack. Y'all would have been like, "Oh, stop trying to control how women dress, yada, yada, yada." Look, this shit is just simple. It's inappropriate. You're teaching kids. What does the outfit have to do with teaching young children? Especially in a bodycon dress. A bodycon dress, any other dress is fine. And like, it don't matter. But a bodycon dress is crazy. And it's just like the pictures and videos I've seen of these teachers, I'm like, yo, what y'all doing? Can y'all just teach the class? Like, if you're a principal or guidance counselor or even maybe a secretary, you can let that slide. You know what I'm saying? But the day in, day out teaching middle schoolers, high schoolers, come on now. It's giving a pretty, you know what I'm saying? Geppetto is giving real Geppetto. You see what I'm saying? So can we get back to the basics? Like, this is the outfits y'all should be wearing when teaching kids, because that's the focus. This is not a fashion show. If this was a fashion show, not even that, if this was a fashion school, okay, that makes sense. We gotta go back to the Miss Frizzles, the Miss Honeys, the Miss Rachels. You know what I'm saying? Look, school is gonna be back in session, and we need to tighten it up. Shout out to y'all ladies that putting these other women in check.
Y'all keep saying Teacher Bay is wearing inappropriate attire to school. but it's the adults that are sexualizing her ass. She teaches the sixth grade. Sixth grade little boys aren't checking for a 20-year-old woman, bro. At 12 years old, I was not checking for a 20-year-old woman. I barely understood the emotions of all that shit that y'all are like worried about. And at 7th grade, I still didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I still was learning myself. You know what I mean? Like, y'all are coming at it the complete wrong way. The people that are saying she looks inappropriate, you are the ones that are sexualizing her attire. She's putting photos of herself online and she is showing a pretty image of herself. She honestly is, man. She is showing a positive image of a young educator who is a young Black woman who is just trying to show that she's confident. And I don't understand what y'all are talking about. Saying that, oh, if your son was in her class, I bet he wouldn't be looking at the chalkboard. If my son in her 6th grade class is having thoughts like that, then as a father, I'm going to pull him off to the side and say, son, where the head at? At 12 years old, if you're looking at your teacher like that, I need to talk to you and sit you down, son. Me and you need to have that conversation. If he comes to me and says, Dad, I have feelings for my teacher, I'm going to pull him off to the side and say, I need to get you out that class, because I'm not about to sit here and chastise this teacher for how she dresses. And even if in this hypothetical world, my son comes home and says, hey, I have a crush on my teacher. You haven't heard one parent even make one video against Miss Bay and say, my child sitting in her class has a problem. You haven't heard one parent from that school come online and say, I have a problem with how Miss Bay is dressed. It's all internet folks. It's all TikTok people. Bro, like in Europe, they don't even have problems like this. In Europe, kids grow up learning about their bodies and learning about life. Only in America, when a woman decides to be confident and get dressed up, does everybody have something to say? Knock it off, man.
As you've seen, these are just people from the media, people from TikTok complaining, criticizing her, calling her out, saying this is inappropriate dress code as a teacher. She should do something about that. But the fact that she's a Black woman, it is also an alarming attention. Because I was asking myself, if she wasn't curvy and she was a white woman, would be people criticizing her this much, saying that she's making the boys to have crush on her? But those are just their thoughts. And my thoughts were, as that Black man has said, is it true that these things are affecting the students or the kids or the teens? Because if that was the case, I personally think that that student or that kid could have informed the parent that, mom or dad, I haven't been focusing on class because Teacher Bay comes, she's wearing a miniskirt, I'm seeing her nyash, I can't focus. Yeah, I'm seeing things that I don't want to imagine, I can't focus, and I think we should call her out. Because we haven't had a single parent complaining, a single parent teaching with the student in that school or the pupil in that school saying that we are criticizing or calling out Teacher Bay because our teens or our kids or our students are not focusing on class or in class because of her dressing code. No parent has come out to tell us on TikTok that the students are complaining of how she's wearing. These are just critiques from the media who sees these behaviors as inappropriate. Others are even teachers saying that she should consider her profession and she should consider how she wears, especially this 21st century. But again, you should also understand that she's a woman. She's a woman of her own taste and she knows what she's after. Because others are saying, if she's dressing that in a school, how could she be dressing in a club or over the weekend Or what is her dress code during the weekend or while she is at home? Yeah? People are calling this nasty. They're saying that these students might not focus in school. They must be crashing on that teacher. But I don't think so. Others are saying that principal might have some sort of attraction to this teacher, or he likes a thing that this teacher is doing. Because if she was a woman, she could have called her out and told her, no, you shouldn't be dressing this, especially you are teaching boys. But because maybe some of them think that the principal is a male, he is attracted to such kind of dressing code. But those are just their thoughts. We don't want to focus onto people's thought that much. We want to focus on what are your thoughts on this one. What do you think teachers should be wearing while going to schools? Because these are kind of conversation that really, really needs attention. Especially the fact that she's going viral. She might even soon get cancelled because of her dressing code. Yeah, you do tell me what you think. You've seen, I believe you've seen what the people have said about it, and I think you have all the information. Tell me what you think in the comment section. Let's have a very engaging discussion, and I hope to see you in my next episode. In the meantime, subscribe and adios.